You are what you drink, according to bartenders. And we'll explain why, because John and Nancy are still drinking. Talking. So Nancy found this article and texted it to me. She thought it was kind of funny because basically here's the title of the article. Bartenders are sharing stereotypes that they assign to you based on what you drink.
Yeah, and John and I have been known to enjoy a few drinks here and there. You know, we have our signature drinks that we like.
And everybody has a go-to drink when they go to a bar. You know, for me, it's almost always beer.
Yeah.
Almost always.
That is your...
You know, I don't drink any mixed drinks at all. Did you know that? I don't. I don't drink mixed drinks. Maybe never. Very
Not
rare.
Not even at like a party or anything?
No,
like,
I mean,
really,
so I drink beer.
Yeah.
I drink wine.
At home usually is the wine, though, right?
It's just beer and wine.
Yeah.
But if I go to dinner, I'll have a glass of wine. If I'm going to get a drink, it's bourbon on ice. That's it. I don't get any mixers. I don't do that stuff. I did get a margarita.
If you go to like a Mexican place.
I went to I was in a Mexican restaurant and I don't go there frequently. Yeah. And I said, "What's good?" And the bartender said, "Oh, our margaritas are great." So I'm like, "Fetch one, good man. Bring it on over." And it was good. It was good. But that's rare for me. How about you?
I'm usually a wine person. I usually drink a white wine. Unfortunately, lately I've also gotten into Long Island iced tea.
I told her to stop. I'm like, get away from that. Run. From the Long Island iced tea. There was, I think, 5 shots of liquor in a Long Island iced tea.
Well, so let me tell you a little bit of story. So my birthday was in December, and I was meeting just 2 friends out for a drink for my birthday. And then my family, including my two of my kids and my husband, were just going to meet us at the same place. And then I was thinking, well, my kids could take my car home, and Bruce could give me a ride home.
And you could have a cocktail.
Right. So I could have a couple cocktails. Well, that night, I had an empty stomach, and I ended up drinking 2 Long Island iced teas, I think, by the time my family got there. So my family got to the restaurant for my birthday, and I was...
Drunk.
Drunk.
Great.
And my kids were like, nice, Mom. I think the next morning I texted them, and I said, I am sorry that your mother was so inebriated last
be like
night. Mom. I'm like, I don't drink those drinks usually, and it really hit me. They laughed, but it was funny.
So bartenders are judgy about you if you drink Long Island iced teas. They are judgy. And here's what... So this article just actually says they interviewed bartenders and they were giving them different cocktails. What do you think about people who get these or this, that, and the other thing? Here's what they said about people who drink Long Island iced teas.
All right, so Long Island iced teas rarely get tips. I always give a good tip, by the way. And are almost always asked to... make it strong. And the bartender's like, it's nearly an entire cup of liquor. How am I supposed to make this stronger?
It's impossible to make it stronger.
Exactly.
But he did it for you.
Wait, what'd you say?
He did it for you on your birthday, right?
I did not ask him to make it stronger for me. I knew it was going to be strong enough.
I just mentioned that I had a margarita at a Mexican restaurant the other day before dinner, and when they asked bartenders who gets margaritas, this is what they said. Old ladies that want to party usually start with margaritas.
You old lady, you.
Touche.
No, John is like the IPA guy.
Yep.
You are the IPA guy, so you just said it yourself. You almost usually do beers. Now, there's a couple things that bartenders said here. There's 2 of them. It says, if I'm asked about the malty flavor or mouthfeel of every IPA we have, it's a hipster in their 20s trying to be cool. Now, that's not you.
Never ask about any of the... I'm not a term guy, you know what I mean? I usually say my standard, if I don't see them, like sometimes if I'm in a bar or a restaurant, you can see what IPAs they have. It's usually just a couple.
Well, hold up. Let me tell you the other half of that coin.
Okay.
Because bartenders also said people who drink IPAs are usually bearded dads who want to ask 15 questions and try 15 samples.
I ask no questions, but bring the samples out. I'm ready.
He's bearded. That is totally you.
Yeah, I like, the thing is about the craft beer deal, which I like, and I don't mind domestic beer either. I'm fine with Miller Lite or Bud Light or whatever too.
Yeah.
But the craft beer is just interesting. So I've had several friends over the years who brew beer. They make their own beer.
Is it
they
good?
They either do it professionally or they do it as a hobby. And they do it, and it's very interesting. So it's not just like a regular beer flavor. I had a friend of mine down in Southern Illinois who used to make pumpkin-flavored beer. And it was delicious.
Was it, though?
Yes, it was delicious. So I like the interesting types of hops and stuff that IPAs get, but I don't get all snooty about it. I usually my standard question is, "What's your IPA on draft? What do you have?
Right.
What do you have to pour me in a glass that's not in a can?" And they're pretty accommodating about that.
So you said you also like bourbon. So
Bourbon.
Old Fashioned is bourbon.
It has a lot of it has bourbon. Its base is bourbon, but there's a lot of mixers in there too.
Because on this list, it doesn't have one for just bourbon, but it has an Old Fashioned. It says Old Fashioned drinkers rarely know anything about cocktails, but it's a cheap way to pretend you do. And it says either someone who knows their booze really well or not at all, and they want to look sophisticated. That's somebody drinking an Old Fashioned.
Okay, but you want to look sophisticated, I suppose. So you don't even know what's in it, so you order it. Yeah.
It looks good.
I'll have a Rob Roy, please, until you taste one. So this is you are what you drink. Bartenders have a instant prejudice against you, or not prejudice, but a stereotype for you the minute you order something. Do you like Chardonnay?
Yeah, Chardonnay is my drink. I mean, that's what I'll drink if I'm drinking wine.
Well, if you go up and order Chardonnay, the bartender automatically assumes you're a high-maintenance, middle-aged divorcee with 2 kids in private school, probably on the prowl for rich single men.
Well, I am middle-aged, and some people have called me high maintenance, but...
Or you're just trying to get a buzz on while trashing your suburban life.
Oh, okay.
That's the Chardonnay drinker.
Those wines are strong, though. Now, this one cracks me up. Jack and Coke. Are you a Jack and Coke person?
I am not. I don't mix anything.
I like Jack and Coke, but I don't drink it. It says, quote, "You'll be fighting someone in a few hours." The Jack and Coke guy.
See, I always thought that was like tequila, but that's kind of the reputation tequila has. But this says if you order a tequila shot, the bartender automatically assumes that you have no work tomorrow.
You have no responsibilities.
Not gonna go there. We're not doing it. How about if you drink? One of the things that bartenders can't stand is if the place is really packed and really rocking.
Right.
You start ordering your fruity frozen drinks.
Right.
So if you're ordering fruity frozen drinks, bartenders automatically assume that you are a new drinker, that you're not, this is your first time out. You're not, don't.
Because it doesn't taste too strong and whatnot.
Well, and it's just, you're just ordering it because it looks interesting.
Now, have you ever had Negroni?
No.
Negroni. So this is kind of funny. So it's gin, vermouth, Campari. And so Bruce actually has gotten into these, but I think that he got into it because my son, who's 22, went to Europe last summer.
And got all snooty nose?
And he was all about the Negroni. And this one, this bartender said, if you are ordering a Negroni, wait, where'd it go? You are a hipster 20-something.
Yeah.
And that kind of fits my son.
Which directly,
for sure.
absolutely describes your husband.
No, that's not. We just have that at home, though. He bought all the stuff for that.
So this is this is sort of, would be my cocktail. It's bourbon, but and this is scotch and water. They had water. I had no water, but on the rocks is fine.
I don't think I've ever had scotch.
Scotch, bourbon, whiskey, they're all about the same, of different flavors. They're sort of the same kind of thing. There are different rules for distilling them, but
okay.
Scotch and bourbon and whiskey are all kind of basically from the same family. If you're ordering just a regular old shot of bourbon or scotch, they assume that you're over 50 with heart issues. So that's fine. I accept that. That's okay. I have no heart issues, but I'll still do it. So for the big hip drink for a long time was a Cosmopolitan. Remember when everybody was ordering Cosmos?
They're okay. They're not that great. I don't know.
The way the bartenders describe you, and excuse my French here, if you order a Cosmopolitan, the person is almost certainly going to be a pain in the ass. Quote, unquote.
Okay.
So just to let you know how they feel about you.
Okay.
Now let's go move to wines for a second, then we'll wrap this up.
We'll wrap it up.
If you order a Cabernet Sauvignon, they say that you're definitely going to mispronounce the Sauvignon.
You're going to overpronounce.
That's right. So
is that you?
No, I barely do that. I'm okay. This says if you order a whiskey sour, you're drinking underage. And this,
Wait, if you're drinking a vodka martini, you're just a fancy drunk.
Okay.
Okay, you're just a fancy drunk.
And then we'll wrap it up with this one because it's going to get me in trouble, so we can't talk about it anymore. My wife likes Pinot Grigio. That is her flavor.
Okay.
When we would go out to get a glass of wine.
Sure.
And the bartenders, at least in this "you are what you drink" study, says if you order Pinot Grigio, you have no personality whatsoever.
Oh, dear. You better keep that under wraps.
I have to go. Because if my wife's still listening.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
Yeah, but if you're still listening.
We'll keep talking.
And we'll catch up with you next time.
Bye.
Here's to you. Drink up.
Yeah, cheers.